Ellen Degeneres has had quite a year, following a massive backlash over the behind-the-scenes stories at the Ellen Degeneres Show. And with some of her acts throughout the years, it's safe to say that people have had enough of the veneer of kindness she spouts every day, especially when she herself can't practice her own sermons. In this video, we are taking a look at 10 reasons why Ellen Degeneres is over. But before we jump to it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell for all of our newest videos. Ellen Degeneres was a cultural icon and a celebrity juggernaut in the 90s and the early 2000s, from breaking out as an actress and comedian in Hollywood to having her own sitcom and making the big news when she came out as being gay. There was the initial onslaught of bad press and controversy, considering that it was the 1990s. Even her sitcom got canceled, and for a while Ellen became virtually unemployable in Hollywood. Despite all of this, her bravery and authenticity provided her a chance for a comeback in the early 2000s, with her coming to helm the widely watched and syndicated Ellen Degeneres Show. And as the talk show brought insight and fun through its guests and antics into people's homes on the daily, so did the show bring back Ellen's invincible status. However, as the years have gone by, many issues have been thrown at Ellen on the show, and with 2020 being quite a year for bombs, it seems that people have gotten enough of Ellen's alleged fake facade. Number 10. Ellen embarrasses her own audience. We've all seen the antics and the stunts that Ellen has done to guests and audience members on the show, whether it might be scaring people in the hallway or people jumping up from hidden table compartments. Ellen is one to do a number on practically everyone, but sometimes these pranks end up being rather quite uncomfortable and awkward. There was a time in 2018 when Ellen put up a sign that audience members could take one free gift item at the studio's gift show. With secret cameras capturing the moment, Ellen called out one audience member who had taken more than one item, saying that she had stolen merchandise. And if that wasn't awkward enough, Ellen placed the audience member in what she called Ellen Jail throughout the show. Number 9. Mistreatment of her staff. In 2020, allegations of a toxic workplace and employee mistreatment at the Ellen Show got everyone's attention. However, despite all the noise and tweets all over social media, allegations regarding the same nature actually started going back to 2007, where writers alleged that Ellen would berate them regarding how lousy the jokes they had written were. Although being a comedian herself, Ellen would know what she was talking about, and people just gave her too much credit. This despite the fact that Ellen didn't even side with her own writers during a writer's strike, choosing to work because she was afraid a strike could end her career. This was most probably when the veneer of kindness started to fail on Ellen. Rumors of backstage demeanor and protocol started to arise, such as "don't speak directly to her," "don't look her in the eye," "don't let her smell you," became workplace grievances that snowballed into BuzzFeed and TMZ stories that talked about Degeneres' dark side. Even actress Kathy Griffin, who has had a long-running feud with Degeneres, once publicly remarked that Ellen has a mean streak that all of Hollywood knows about. Number 8. Cold to guests. Despite being known for her goofy, friendly, and charming persona on air, Ellen can be a completely different person when the cameras aren't on. In 2018, Corinne Olympios, whom you might know from The Bachelor's 21st season, detailed her uncomfortable experience with Degeneres when she was a guest on the show, saying, "She was very cold when I saw her before the show, which I don't think I was supposed to because everybody got very nervous." In March of 2020, Dutch beauty YouTuber Nikki de Jager, with her famous beauty channel Nikki Tutorials, said that Degeneres was cold and distant during her guest appearance as well. Number 7. Ellen isn't a fan of people with disabilities. It is one thing to be insensitive to other people's struggles, but to be consciously veering away from the reality that many people face is just unforgivable. In one case, a kid wished to be part of the show's 12 Days of Ellen, where Ellen gives all members of the audience some awesome, incredible stuff. Despite having the guest appearance arranged 1 month before the scheduled shoot, the show canceled their appearance, stating that Ellen refuses to interact with disabled people. Another case explained how a custodian who was slightly autistic got fired because he loved greeting everyone and forgot that he wasn't allowed to look at her or speak to Ellen, costing him his job. Those are just simply unforgivable. Number 6. Rude to most people. With plenty of allegations regarding how Ellen treats her staff and crew coming to light, a Twitter thread emerged revealing more testimonials of how Ellen is behind the camera. A former bodyguard, Tom Mayercack, felt compelled to share his demeaning experience with Ellen after reading the allegations surrounding the TV star. Ellen is all smiles when surrounded by A-list celebrities, but she's far from nice to underlings and guests who are not famous. When you see her on TV, people fall in love with her, but it is a false facade and bravado, he explains. Even waiters joined the thread, with some saying that they experienced a plate of salmon getting thrown in their face because it wasn't what she ordered. Another waiter claimed that she almost got fired from her job after serving Ellen, because apparently Ellen wrote a letter to the restaurant's owner and complained about her chipped nail polish. Number 5. Ellen lied, Dakota Johnson. Probably one of the most cringeworthy exchanges on the show that people have been celebrating for happening was when Dakota Johnson was interviewed on the show. Dakota stood up to Ellen, who accused the actress of not inviting her to her birthday party. Johnson said that Ellen was in fact invited, as a producer mouthed from behind the camera that she had indeed been invited. Ellen could only try to reclaim her joke by saying that she was out of town, with many netizens noting that it was the same weekend she had attended a highly criticized football game with former President George W. Bush. Number 4. Ellen and George Bush. What many considered to be a huge breaking point for her fans was the picture that revealed Ellen and wife Portia hanging out with the Bushes at an NFL game. It is hard to consider that Ellen, being a strong advocate for gay rights and gay marriage, would be in the same space with a former president who fought hard to repress these rights for the LGBTQ community. Number 3. Toxic workplace. In August of 2020, several other employees came forward to share their experiences with Ellen on set. A former producer shared an incident during a staff meeting where the executive producers were introduced to the rest of the existing production team. For some reason, one of the show's executive producers just started screaming at a member of the staff in front of everyone in attendance. Apparently, Ellen did nothing but giggle, cross her legs up on a chair, and said, "Well, I guess every production needs their dog." Even the show's former DJ, Tony Okambawa, came forward with a post supporting his former colleague's quest for a healthier and more inclusive workplace, and attested to the toxicity of the environment that he himself experienced. It has been reported that Warner Media, the distributor of The Ellen Show, is launching an internal investigation into the show's workplace culture. This investigation has been called after a turbulent past few months for DeGeneres, the show, and its employees. Number 2. Mariah Carey incident. This entry is an old example of how uncomfortable it can get when you get a guest on the show. In a 2008 interview, Mariah Carey was asked to drink champagne by Ellen on the show, despite the pregnancy rumors that Carey was trying to avoid. Ellen had been trying to break the news on the rumor while putting Mariah on the spot to get it. It could have been a fun banter if not for the fact that she later suffered a miscarriage without linking it to the actual drinking. The bottom line is Ellen should have shown some empathy and not thrown her guests under the bus. Number 1. She bailed on her staff. While Ellen garnered praise for announcing her donation of $1 million towards coronavirus relief efforts, the reality of how she's treated the pandemic situation and her immediate environment has gotten quite the backlash. With stay-at-home orders still in effect in California, Ellen had taped her shows from inside her house, even mentioning how staying in her $27 million Balinese mansion felt like being in jail, which then also garnered some extreme reactions of its own. It's how she treated her staff while the lockdown situation developed, which really didn't help her case. Her core stage crew for the Ellen Degeneres show consists of more than 30 employees. They received no written communication about the status of their working hours, pay, or inquiries about their mental and physical health from producers for over a month. What added fuel to the fire was how Ellen and the show hired an outside non-union tech company to serve as her production crew while she was taping remotely from her home. When production executives reached out to the original staff, all crew members were told to brace for a 60% reduction in pay, even as the show continued to air. What do you think about the 10 reasons why Ellen Degeneres is over? We'd love to hear from you by placing your comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more stories.